Hi guys, and welcome back to our screencasts on building a WordPress blog or website. This one is brought to you by buildawordpressblog.com. And if you remember, in our last screencast, we showed you how to set up a self-hosted WordPress blog or website in under 15 minutes. Pretty amazing. When we left off, we were basically right here. We hadn't really done much with the WordPress backend other than make a post out here, which is this is what we made last time. And you're probably a little bit antsy to get going on adding more content to your site and building it out a little bit. But before we do that, we want to make sure that you understand everything that's going on in the back end of WordPress. It's a very simple tool to use, a very powerful tool, but there's a lot going on. So in this screencast, we're going to show you guys a little bit of the back end, all the things that are going on here on your sidebar, and we're going to take you through, give you a brief overview of each of those features, all right? So when you log into the back end of WordPress, this is where you're going to land. This is called your dashboard, and it gives you a brief overview of everything that's happening on your site right now. As you scroll down, you've still got this welcome dialog here, which you can dismiss if you want, but there are some helpful things here. Feel free to check out each of those. But as you scroll down, you'll see that right now I have a snapshot of what my WordPress site looks like. I can see that I have one post, there's one page, one category, no tags, and 2 comments. Now, here's something interesting. While we were gone, I actually got spammed by some unknown robot, which looks like Rolex Daytona replica, and I'm super excited to find out what that is. Not really, but it's handy because it's actually showing us that now this is what a new comment looks like when it arrives. I can send this to the trash, or I can spam it. Eventually, I'm going to set up a spam filter, but we can come back to that later. All right, so this is your dashboard. You can also see that I have 2 updates for my plugins. I'm going to click on that real quick and show you guys what's going on there. And you can see that Askamet is telling me that I have a version that needs to be installed. Askamet is a great little plugin for WordPress that helps deal with spam. And if I had installed this or upgraded it, it probably would have caught that spam comment. And then Jetpack also says that it has an update. But let's just breeze over those right now. The next thing you're going to see on your sidebar is Jetpack. Jetpack, when you install WordPress through Bluehost, Jetpack comes automatically installed. And what Jetpack is, in a nutshell, is it's a grouping of many different ultra handy plugins for WordPress. You can see as we scroll down here, we can see statistics, notifications, publicize, Jetpack comments. There are a whole smorgasbord of things that Jetpack comes preloaded with to make your site run better, make your life easier, and make interacting with your users and your readers just a more pleasant experience in general. Now, each one of these probably deserves its own video, so I'm going to let you guys take a look at this in the meantime, but let's go back up to the top here and look at our next item on the sidebar. All right, scrolling over this, you can see that our next item is posts, and as I hover over it, you can see that a number of options pop up. I can view all posts, I can add a new post, I can look at the categories I have, and I can look at the tags. Just briefly here, when I click on all posts, you can see that I can see every post that I've ever made. It's important to note that posts is tied to your blog, the blog portion of your site. It's not necessarily for the dedicated pages that you'll have up there. So when you make a blog entry, this is where it goes. It goes under posts. And just clicking on all posts, if I had more here, you could see the title of the post, the author, how I categorized it, and whether or not there are comments. You can see the one spam one that's available there for me to review. So let's just move on to the add new, which you already saw. We'll skip over that, and let's go to categories. Categories are neat. They're a way to categorize the posts that you put up and kind of cluster them based on their topic. It makes them more searchable for your readers, and groups like posts together. It also helps improve your SEO on your website, so it's important to have a number of good categories. Let's just make one real quick. My blog is called thedirectorsblog.com, so I'm going to call this category movies because I'm sure I'll undoubtedly write about movies. The slug refers to, as it says here, the URL-friendly version of the name, and that's going to go up in the address bar. So I'm going to call this movies, and when I categorize anything like this, it's going to have movies. I don't need a parent for it because I don't have anywhere for it to go, and you can figure out a description later on. I'm just going to breeze past that. And ta-da, you can see movies has shown up under one of my slugs, or one of my categories. Tags are a lot like categories. It's just it's a finer way of grouping your entries. It's very similar. You can create, we'll call this reviews. And this could be under movies. Just an example here. Okay. So that's a good overview of posts. Let's go look at media real quick. As I hover over media, you can see that two options come up. I can go to the library or add new. This media tab refers to any media that you may have uploaded, and that could be pictures, videos, sound bites, or audio files, anything that you want to store here on the WordPress site that you're not linking into. If I post a YouTube video, that video is actually hosted on YouTube, so I don't need to worry about that media. But if I wanted to have a self-hosted video on here, I would need to load it up on the media. Or if I wanted to have photos that aren't hosted anywhere else, like if I'm not pulling them off of a Facebook or a Google Plus account, they would need to live on here. Pages is actually a really important tab. Pages refer to the pages on your top bar here, on your top navigation bar that people can click through, and they're the ones that are going to live there permanently. It's different from your post tab in that your posts will all appear under your sample page one, which we have yet to name. So let's go back to this pages tab real quick. And by clicking on it, we come to all pages, and we can edit the sample page. Let's call this blog, and click update. And when I come back out here and hit refresh, you'll see that now my sample page has turned into blog, and this is going to be a running tally of my blog. Let's go back to this pages tab, and let's click on add new, just so you guys can see what can happen when this is used. Let's make another page called contact us, and let's just put in some filler information and click publish. And there you have it. Adding a page to your blog is as simple as that. Contact us is now there. You can see we have filler information. So that's how pages work. You can add as many as you want, and there are some handy plugins for organizing the order of those. Let's say I didn't want contact on this side. I wanted it where blog is. There are some great plugins for that we'll cover in later tutorials. Okay? So moving right along, let's click on comments real quick. You're going to see the latest comments that appear in your blog as people have left them and in the order that people have left them. Some of these comments are going to need to be approved. You have settings for all that stuff, and I can see that here, this one is going to be spam. Let's just get rid of it right now. I'm going to mark it as spam. Hopefully that user Rolex Daytona replica never contacts us again. Again, once I install Askomet, it's probably going to do a much better job of catching all that stuff. So let's take a moment real quick. We've covered the basic controls for the blog itself, but there's more stuff on the back end down here that we can take a look at, including the appearance, additional plugins, user, like administrative tools, additional tools, and some settings stuff here. I'm going to make this a two-part video, and in the next video, we're going to cover some of these appearance things, plugins, users, tools, and settings, because they're going to change if you install themes and whatnot. Once again, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those, or any suggestions for videos or things that you would like to see us talk through. By all means, leave a comment and we'll address it as soon as we can. This screencast has been brought to you by buildawordpressblog.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.